Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bachelorette post-show live chat with me, Bachelor Fan Take. How's everyone doing? We have another week 3 of the Bachelorette to talk about, to get into. A lot to talk about. More eliminations. We got four eliminations this week. Just we're mowing down the men this season, and one guy happy to sleep his way home. Another happy to still have his rose that almost got plucked off. But before we get into all that, of course, got to go over the rules, chat rules. Number 1, please, no posting any spoilers. Of course, sleuthing is welcome. We're going to do some sleuthing tonight. Number 2, I'll try to respond to as many questions as I can, but super chats will get priority. And last but not least, be kind to each other. So, yes, the big ending tonight was, will Brayden get a rose? And he did. Will he keep his rose? There was the topic for the end of the night, a very unusual one. Usually, when you got a rose and you're heading into a rose ceremony, that's fine. It's not going to get taken away. But tonight, after Aaron B. Dished some of the things that Brayden was saying to Charity, things like, I'm not sure about being with someone who's dated 20 of my friends, stuff like that. His rose was in danger, but she decided to keep him because she has a connection with him. And AJ, good to see you. Thanks for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Gonna work on... Okay. Yeah, perfect. Thank you for the super chat. The drama in this episode was messy. Aaron S. and the other men annoyed me so much. Yes, Aaron S. annoyed me as well this episode. Going on and on about Sean, I feel like he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, I agree with that. He was, maybe the worst thing he did was be a little, cocky, coming in with the singing and stuff like that after winning the that extra, sunset time with Charity. Maybe that's the worst thing he did, but really he did nothing wrong. Though this is a storyline we see just every season. The guy who, gets some time and then, because he got time on that, that special sunset time, whatever, with Charity, apparently he's not allowed to get any more time for the rest of the evening. And when he does take that time, men get mad. I don't really think he did anything wrong. I believe there was also more footage from the previews of that, the other guy James getting upset with Sean, more on the previews. That just didn't make the cut because this episode was more about Brayden. But Aaron S., who went home tonight, four men going home this episode. One being Warwick here, who fell asleep at the end of his date. Now, I gotta wonder, is there any chance that they filmed this at 2 a.m. or something, and he was just really tired. And a couple of other guys, James and Adrian, who was the feuding with Brayden before, went home. And Aaron S., he was kind of getting a little annoying with some of his real man talk there. A lot of messiness this episode. And Maria Hernandez, thank you for the super chat. Never have I wanted to smack a smile off someone more than Brayden. Xavier is me right now knitting. Warwick is such a mood. Man was asleep leaving. Yeah, I've never seen a guy so happy-go-lucky, not really caring too much, being kicked off this show. But hey, you need to get your beauty rest, I guess. But yes, Brayden survives one more episode, though it looks like next episode we're going to be seeing his big moment. My chair is just lowered there. Woo. Okay, slowly lowering into the ground. Yeah, Braden, he's got his big blowout moment from the preview. It's going to be happening next week. I'll take a look at that at in a little bit for the preview breakdown for the evening. The live version before we get into the real one in a couple of days. But yeah, Xavier too really I really liked his knitting thing at the beginning there. That came back later in the episode. He gave her a scarf. He did that all in one episode. Knitted a whole scarf for Charity. We must stan the knitting man. And MC, thank you for the membership. Welcome. Really appreciate that. And AJ again. That date with Warwick had me wanting to go to sleep. No wonder it went by so fast. The date was just boring and awkward. Yeah, it really. Sometimes you see little bits, like, of dates where things are a bit awkward or whatever, but never to the point where there's almost like no talking whatsoever. I think I guess I wasn't too surprised. I suppose you come to expect that someone's gonna this early on someone's gonna get a rose on the one-on-ones. It's not usually till later that the one-on-ones lead to someone getting kicked off, except I guess if you're Rachel from last Bachelorette season. He not very present in the previews, not very present in the other episodes, but got a one-on-one here. But yeah, not too surprised that the connection wasn't there, and the date ended up being a bust. What? And Julia, thank you for the super chat. In your professional opinion, do you think we will see Charity or any batch people in Dancing with the Stars? Yes. Yes. I do. Usually there's always, well, I guess Charity, who knows? But usually there's always a Bachelor person on Dancing with the Stars. Is that going to be, someone from this season or any recent season? We'll see. But they usually have someone from the Batch world. Also, speaking of someone from the Batch world being on another show, though, I guess Dancing with the Stars is still like ABC. Katie Thurston is going to be on F-Boy Island, season 3. That was announced today. So that was announced a few hours before the show began. But anyways, yes. So big 4 eliminations, big chunk of guys this episode. This was something we'd used in our sleuthing before. It was a top 13 guys. It turns out this was actually the top 14. And while these men were showing up to the resort, Braden was off on his baseball one-on-one, and now we're down to 10. We're down to 10 guys already. What the heck? As we head into next week, I feel like that's such a low number for this point in the season. And Laura Parenti, thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. They fooled us again with the preview. Who does she take the rose from? I don't think they did fool us. I think they were teasing the possibility of that, and showing what happened tonight, where she said I could clip that rose off. Maybe they didn't show the exact wording we saw in the preview, but looks like it was just the Braden tease that they were setting us up for. And she takes the rose from no one in no episode, just as we saw. I guess there's a possibility of that happening somewhere down the line again. But no, I think they were just trying to tease us as to what might happen and to show us the storyline of this episode, which was, is Charity going to take away the rose? She has that power, but she doesn't. Brayden kept his rose. We know he's got that big blowout next week. But that being said, at this point, Brayden is vulnerable to go home. So if you're not a fan of Brayden, he might be the next one to go. Not sure how many guys will go next week. We've got next location here is the what was it? People in my chat or in the comments were saying something. Was it like the Columbia River? I think it was somewhere there. Next week, up in the corner, and I guess okay, we've got 2 more locations. So is that it? Is it just 2 more episodes before our hometowns? Like, is that? I guess I mean I'm kind of looking at the timeline here, going that's pretty quick. Is there nothing else? I guess it's possible. There's only 10 men left. So I guess that's it. So we've got next week, I think it's what was it? Dotun and Xavier with one-on-ones. Makes sense. Those guys have been steadily going along, especially this episode we got to see a lot of Dotun. And then on the previews there's also a one-on-one with Dotun in New Orleans. So he gets another one-on-one? That'll be interesting. And Joey, the other one in New Orleans, based on the season preview. But real fast, maybe like, I don't know, maybe they're planning, I guess it's kind of strange, because like you can't really say, well, maybe they're planning to like spend a long time, like extra episodes going over some drama at the end of the season. Well, when like, yeah, but you know, to get rid of that many guys this early, you'd have to plan for something at the end there. Like, it just seems like they're steamrolling through the season. But and they started with less guys than normal. It was 25 guys to start, when normally it's closer to 30. So I guess we'll see as we go along for the ride. But why don't we now take a look at that preview for next week? I've got it here. Can pop it up. Gonna try my darndest not to end the stream like last week. Oy, that was a thing. So let's take a look at this preview for next week. We go to the preview now, and see what we can figure out how things are going to go. The big question mark is the Brayden stuff. Brayden, he almost had his rose plucked away this episode, and didn't. But next week the drama continues with him. So let's take a look.
No one has pulled back those layers in the way that he has.
Kissing.
I would love to have you as my wife.
I could see my future husband.
So there we've got one-on-ones. Xavier doing some, jam smushing on the train there as well. Girl Scout date, and this maybe is we'll see, maybe group date, and there's Dotun as well, and Dotun's on the this bungee jumping moment. I guess it's possible, theoretically possible, that there's a group date, but usually the adrenaline thing, like this is the typical adrenaline date. So there you have it, the one-on-ones, but we'll be getting into the
Hi.
I could see my future husband.
Brayden drama is the big part.
Cheesing like this is not happening.
I'm feeling on
Dotun
top
in
of
the
the
hot tub
world right now.
Yeah, definitely a
She
one-on-one.
wants a cookie cutter dude. That's your cookie cutter dude right there.
He is reminding me so much of my past relationship.
All right, let's take a look at this. Who can we see here? Is this someone we can see? Not sure who that is. Looks like someone's headed home. We'll see if we can do some zoom in or what. See if we can cross-reference something there from the past previews. But there's a... Looks like it could be Xavier with a rose. No surprise he'll get a rose on his one-on-one. And Brayden, of course.
So much in my past relationship, it scares the hell out of me.
You did me dirty, man. You did it because you felt threatened by me.
What's the conversation?
I'm hoping that Charity can kind of see through it.
Get out of my face, bro. Don't tell me what to do.
You are not a man, bro.
It's like actually ridiculous.
All right, so it's pretty... Okay, this is some interesting stuff. So, we've got Charity here in this outfit, right? Then Charity here looks like she's sending someone home. I previously thought that maybe this was Brayden getting eliminated. As a possible, like, if someone's getting sent home on a, you know, coldly like this, I guess Brayden's the guy. But here's her at the rose ceremony, different outfit. We've seen it here. Then there she is, sending someone home, looks like. Then here's Brayden's outfit from this moment, where they're seen together in this outfit from, what, group date? And then there's this thing, Brayden, and it's the rose ceremony, because there's Dotton's rose. Definitely going to cross-reference this stuff too. Here, I think we can also... I think John gets eliminated too. I think this is John. Right here. Rose ceremony. This matches. John's going home at some point, right? Unless it's like Sean or something. Anyways.
Actually ridiculous.
Aaron backstabbed me. Bitch move, dude.
That.
It's the Brayden show once again.
Sick of wasting time.
And, okay, so it looks like Brayden, I'm thinking he's getting eliminated and he's coming back. Because, one, you don't wear this to a rose ceremony. This is not rose ceremony outfit. This is not something Brayden, who prides himself on his style. You know, and hey, look, Brayden, we can knock Brayden on a lot of stuff. I'm all for a man doing whatever you want, like taking fashion risks, doing your thing. I love it. The other actions, you know, but this is not a man. This is not something Brayden would wear to a rose ceremony. Let's, like, come on. With all these guys here and their suits and stuff, here's him on a group date. So why would he be at the rose ceremony like that? Only reason is he's been eliminated already, or he's not allowed to go to the rose ceremony for some reason, which I guess is the only reason is you've been eliminated. Charity looks pretty cold as ice, sending him home here. I think that's what it's got to be. You know, they're seen together right here. And you know, group date, whatever this date is here, and this being the rose ceremony outfit. The reason why everyone's so extra hostile to him is because he's shown up trying to get back on the show, and you know, I guess it's possible that he does get back on the show. But I guess let's finish
That.
It's the Brayden show once again.
Sick of wasting time.
I'll whoop your ass, bro. Get in my face, dude.
Punch the gas, man.
Yeah, this is rose ceremony. With Dotton here with his rose. Fighting, and this is not rose ceremony attire. So, there you have it. There's the
I'll whoop your ass, bro. Get in my face, dude.
Punch the gas, man.
the preview for next week. where Brayden, I think, is getting eliminated, or at least he's getting eliminated sometime before the rose ceremony, and then coming back. That's the prediction. And will he stay? Will he stick around? Will he get that rose? Kind of the reverse of what we saw tonight. Eliminated and then having the rose given back to him. I doubt it. I think at this point, too much drama. Charity has already reached a point where she's like, you know, I really like this guy. I've got a connection, and, you know, the only reason he's keeping his rose tonight is because I still feel something. And, otherwise, he would be going home. So adding to that, more drama with Aaron, someone who she said she's trusted, and seems to be a trustworthy voice in the house. And this whole blowout at the end here, returning, whatever it is, she's done. Looks like. So, as for other eliminations, looks like maybe we'll see who that walking away guy is. John seems like a potential a good candidate for that. What seems something's upset people at the rose ceremony. There's Xavier there with his rose. But is it this guy walking away? Maybe someone who really is upset, really had a connection with Charity. John fits the bill. It's the only other person is maybe Sean without his... No, probably not Sean, because I think we've got black hair, dark suit, white shirt. And we've got to look at some of the men here.
Hoping that Charity can kind of see through it.
Get out of my face, bro. Don't tell me what to do.
Matches John pretty well. And John's been going strong. He's been doing really well on group dates. Yeah, and see, and I think Tanner's right here, right? And in the previews, there's I think a section where she like kisses Tanner in this where's her outfit here? In this outfit from the previews. So maybe it's not going to be him. Maybe Tanner's going to stick around. And the white, darker hair, white shirt, darker suit. John, as I was sort of saying earlier, he's been doing really well, trying really hard, getting lots of like kissing time and romantic time with Charity, but maybe this is his week to go. I could have seen, and I could still see, like, we don't know for sure if it's John, but he's someone who I could see making it close to hometowns, or maybe even closer than this. But if it's true, if this is actually just like the trajectory of the season, where it's gonna be next week and then New Orleans, like it's only 2 more rose ceremonies before it's hometowns. So it's still kind of far in, at least in terms of typical how many guys are left and all that. So that's someone else who I could see. And then of course we'll do the classic numbers game and see who else is likely going home. Next week, 3 guys maybe. I guess that usually at this point, it's like 3 guys per episode. They've been doing more, but 3 guys this week, next week, and then 3 guys the week after that would be right to hometowns. 10 guys left, 3 to 7, 7 to 4. So It's not, even though it seems so quick, someone like John has a connection, seems to do pretty well on group dates, but it's not a standout. Him going home next week would make sense. But then you're also like, men like Tanner. Where is he? Somewhere around here. He also hasn't really had any screen time. So, how do you, like, in comparison to John, you'd think he would go. But, we could see 4 guys going, but maybe it's like Braden, John, and, one of, Caleb, the wrestler guy, Sean, Tanner. Any of these 3 guys could go, too. And then we'll likely, any of those guys, will, if they don't go next week, will be gone the week after that, because there's just no way. Like, we've got Dotun, Xavier, and Joey. Aaron seem like strong hometown contenders, especially when, it's them or, like, Sean, Caleb, Tanner. Like, how do one of those other men, even John, how do one of those men take a spot from those 4 guys who have had, like, strong, one-on-one time, strong camera presence, strong group dates? It's hard to imagine. But Beatrice Hernandez, thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Do you think Braden is starting to be another Luke P? No. He's not at the Luke P level. There are some, like, no way he's at the Luke P level. Certainly red flags being thrown out. I'm not a fan of the whole power switch move of, I'm going to pack my bags unless you give me validation stuff. But he's definitely not on the level of a Luke P, in my opinion. Definitely not. Not so much the level of shaming. And there's certain levels of Bachelor villainy, and Braden is honestly like middle of the pack in terms of Bachelor villains, with a Luke P and like a Chad being top of the pack. But so it's good episode. We're seeing some drama, seeing some relationships develop. Big episode for Dotun, huge episode for Dotun. The whole work stuff, getting to know Dotun a little more, getting to know Xavier now a little more. He's got some more coming next week maybe, but Joey's there too, and he's got his New Orleans date in the future. So maybe the idea with the less guys and more cuts is that there's more time to get to know some of the other men. If there are less guys clogging up airspace, clogging up the literal space, there's more opportunity for us to get to know them. We'll see, though. We'll see as the season goes on. But you think Joey has a Bachelorette if he ends up not being the final one? That's very, very, very possible too. And then that's right after that. If Dotun isn't the final one, he could be the Bachelor or Xavier. Yeah, and once we get into that final 4 area, at least at this point where we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know how things are going to turn out. If there's going to be a huge heartbreak story or anything like that, it's hard to tell who, but it's usually one of the top 4. Usually, not always. Usually, one of the top 4 that gets that lead spot. Charity was in the top 4 with Zach. Zach was in the top 3. But we won't talk about Clayton. When do they film The Bachelor? Usually it's gonna be getting into like September-ish. And then they'll go to November. And then that's when it's done. So we're still a ways away, and there's Paradise 2. There's the Bachelor Seniors edition is apparently going to be a thing. I don't know when that's airing, so we'll see. Apparently it's coming this fall, but is that after Paradise? I'm interested in that too. But Joey I could see. Dotton I could see. I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell what is a Bachelor edit and what's like a final guy edit. You know? Like, are we seeing all this extra, Dotton time or whatever in a certain episode, or whoever time in an episode because they want this guy to be the next Bachelor? Or is it because they're developing the love story? And that's what we're here trying to suss out. But all right, like Warwick here, it's late, and I know it's only these late end times mean shorter streams, but we got to get to bed, everybody. So I'm gonna get up early, get a recap video out for y'all, and a preview breakdown after that, as we are now headed from week 3 into week 4, and it's time to get some beauty rest. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Really appreciate everyone who's super chatted, everyone who's chatted, everyone who's just hung out, lurked, watched. Thank you to Think Story for modding, and have a great night, everyone. I'll see you for the recap video tomorrow and the preview breakdown after that. And Charity season is going next week for another stream and another episode. So, thanks everyone, and until next time, Bachelor Fan Take out.